Joining us right now is former acting director of the Office of Management and Budget under President Trump, Russ Vought. Russ, great to have you. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to ask you about budgetary issues, given the fact that we're now spending an additional $1.9 trillion on stimulus. Your thoughts on where we are in the economy as all of this spending really picks up?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Maria. I mean, it's a very concerning moment that we're in. The economy is ticking back up, and I think I saw Chairman Powell's comments on that, but I think it reflects the trajectory more than anything. And we don't have the money right now to be able to put another $1.9 trillion into the economy, particularly when there's $1 trillion that's still out there unspent. And so we're trying to get our schools back open, and the reality is there's about $82 billion that has not been spent, and they're talking about $170 billion in additional spending. So, look, these are real big numbers. You have bipartisan concern emerging on the left with Larry Summers last week. I think that's another reason why Chairman Powell made his comments yesterday to keep the pressure on to move forward with the bill. And this is not going to be the last big spending bill that the Biden administration is going to come forward with. So we're at a critical juncture right now from the standpoint of the economy and what we can afford.
Yeah, you make a really good point, because there are many on Wall Street that are expecting a second spending package, but that package will likely also include revenue-raising ideas like raising taxes. President Biden talked on the campaign trail about a $4.2 trillion tax increase. Is that what you're expecting? Is the next big bill that we see, or the next big package that we see spoken about in the Biden administration about taxes, do you think?
It's a possibility. I think either infrastructure or a climate bill. But remember, anytime they're talking about a climate bill, they're talking about an energy tax. This is the administration that was part of the last one on the Democrat side of the aisle that said, we need to necessarily skyrocket energy prices. It was necessarily because that was the whole point. And so anytime they're talking about climate or the energy, the American people know that there's a tax increase coming their way.
Yeah. So how significant will that be in terms of its impact on the economy, in your view? The administration has said during the campaign that they only will raise taxes on anybody making more than $400,000. But, I mean, when you look at those numbers, is that enough to actually pay for all of these grand ideas?
Yeah, and I think that's very concerning. And that, from a wide-angle lens on the economy, that's one of the reasons I'm so concerned, Maria, is that it's not just the spending, it's not just what's needed to get the economy going right now in the direction of growth, but they are redeclaring the war on energy. They are destabilizing our deregulatory agenda. They've put a number of reforms in place that will basically make it impossible to ever deregulate or continue those reforms from President Trump. And so the totality of that agenda is one where we're not going to see growth in the next 4 years from the standpoint of what we could have under the last administration's policy of being carried forward.
Russ, President Biden's nominee for the director of the Office of Management and Budget, your old job, Neera Tanden, under fire for tweets that she made targeting lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy questioned her during a Senate Budget Committee hearing. Watch this.
The comments were personal. I mean, you call Senator Sanders everything but an ignorant slut.
I mean, I feel badly. I look back at them. I said them. I feel badly about them. I deleted tweets over.
Are you saying that because you want to be confirmed?
No, I felt badly about them. And
did you mean them when you said them?
Senator, I must have meant them, but I really regret them.
Russ, what do you think? Is she qualified to take over your former role at OMB?
Yeah, I think Neera is part of the leftist cabinet that Joe Biden has put forward. He has tried to put forward a tone and a rhetoric of moderation, but unfortunately, he has picked hard left cabinet picks throughout each one of these opportunities. And so, I think Neera is part of that. And I think if she's confirmed by the Senate, he's going to have someone that can really use OMB to push his leftist agenda through every single agency. And if you're someone like me who thinks that's really bad for the country, it's going to be very concerning.
And then the people who will get hit first, of course, are those people who will lose their jobs. We are waiting on jobless claims this morning. We're expecting 757 jobless claims in the last week. What are your thoughts on where we are on jobs right now, Russ?
Yeah, my expectation is that we're going to see a little bit of a good direction. The trajectory will be moving in the right direction, and I think it's one of the reasons why we need to pause before going forward with a $1.9 trillion stimulus expansion. Because right now we got to think through: can we afford it? Let's spend the $1 trillion that's still already out there, and have a bipartisan pause before moving forward. All
right, Russ. Great to talk to you and get your insights this morning, Russ. Thank you, Russ.